I hope that what I share here gives you a glimpse of what Cuba is really like, without typecasting or generalizing too heavily. This is Cuba, through the lens of an American interested in discovering the history and evolution of Cuban salsa dance. Welcome to Cuba, an island 90 miles off the coast of Florida with a completely different style, culture, music, rhythm, and people. The country pulses with music at all hours of the day and night. Cuba is densely packed with culture and history. Embarking on an investigation of Cuban dance cannot be comprehensive without considering the political situation, the history, geography, religion, and culture of the country. It is impossible to look at the evolution of dance without recognizing the complexities involved in the creation and preservation of dance. Since the establishment of a U.S. embargo against Cuba, the flux of information between the two countries has been limited. I was inspired to create an intercultural exchange through my research and discover firsthand the roots, the historical evolution, and the social impacts of rueda de casino. I spent 3.5 weeks in Cuba. Most of my time there was spent in the capital city of Havana, studying the unique history of Cuban salsa dance. Understandably, rueda would not be what it is today without its unique history, location, and politics. Dance, like culture, religion, art, and music, transforms as a result of global events, shifts, and media. Rueda has evolved to what it is today as a result of such influences. Almost everyone in Havana is a mechanic by necessity, and they take care of their cars and restore them to most pristine condition possible.
Not everything lasts. I've broken my heart so many times I stopped.
Ask any Cuban and they'll be sure to tell you. They are proud of their country and their heritage, yet it is a constant struggle for survival.
I tried so very hard not to lose it. I came up with a million excuses.
While the communist government of Cuba is set up to provide food for all its citizens, the monthly rations often do not last the entire month. As a result, the citizens often go to the marketplace to buy the rest of the food they need for the month. In addition to monthly food rations, the Cuban government aims to cover all basic needs of its citizens free of charge, including healthcare and education.
But I'm trying to be bigger than the bickering, bigger than the petty name calling, under the breath talking, rumors and labels and categorization. I'm like a struggling doctor, no patience. But you can say what you want about me, keep talking while I'm walking away. You can say what you have to say.
The spirit of the citizens is a constant source of inspiration.
Trying to make me take myself off safety, trying to make my friends turn their backs on the team we built, building up some mistaken information, and I can't take this. Let me spell it out plain for you. Angry groups complain about the things we do. I'm not changing direction, I'm stepping my game up, maintaining my name same way that I came up. You're gonna see that I'm not playing and start asking me the names that I'm not saying, but I'm trying not to mention the names of people who wanna siphon attention. You like the hype but pretending you're part of the picture won't pass. You're like a high school dropout, no class. And you can say what you want about me, keep talking while I'm walking away.
Bitch, you can say what you have to say, 'cause my mind's made up anyway. I'm taking the high road, going above you. This is the last time that
Above all, I found that the people make up the heart of Cuba. It is common to see Cubans sitting outside on the porch or on the sidewalk playing chess or dominoes with their neighbors.
Ya tiene, 3 añitos nada más tiene.
I was fortunate enough to be able to spend a few days with a family in San Jose, a small town on the outskirts of Havana. From talking with them, I was able to learn about the role of salsa in their lives.
When I got up, all the blood to my head. I got so dizzy, fell back into my bed. I went over to the wayside looking for
One thing I noticed with several of the Cubans that I talked with was their friendliness and forwardness talking about their country, culture, history, and government. And they were equally as interested in hearing about your own. Many people I met were eager to ask me about the possibilities of going to the United States and how to get an invitation to leave the country. Even though the governments are in conflict, the people recognize that it is a political issue, and many Cubans think they would be better off if they could only reach the United States. As well, many Cubans blame the embargo and think the embargo is the root cause of the problems in Cuba. One Cuban described it to me like this. He said, "A strong dichotomy exists here in Cuba. Even with the communist system, there still exists two extremes, just not as extreme as the US. There's still rich and poor, we just lack the economic freedoms that exist to allow extreme wealth. But we are supposedly protected from extreme poverty as a result." This dichotomy plays out in other ways. There are nice European touristy hotels next to buildings that are crumbling from decay. There are two currencies, one for the Cubans and one for foreigners. There are price and quality differences. One if you want to live on the level of a Cuban, and one if you can afford the luxuries of a foreigner. There are even two lines at ice cream stands, depending on which money you have. It may create a sense of social equality among Cubans, but it certainly strengthens the line of international separation, distinguishing citizens from foreigners. My friend went on to say that Cubans should win all the Oscars because they have been acting for 40 years now. They have become experts at acting, smiling, and putting on a good show when necessary. But the reality isn't so picture perfect. Milk rations, for example, are only provided to Cubans under the age of 7. Once they reach the age of 7, the government stops supplying monthly milk rations under the assumption that milk is no longer needed after this age. Anyone who wants to drink milk, therefore, must pay for it themselves. But this is much harder than it seems, considering that they only get the equivalent of $8 to $12 a month for their jobs. There's no extra. Christmas, as a result, came and went without any notice of the holiday because Cubans simply have no ability to splurge on Christmas gifts, even if they wanted. Music, though, is one thing that is never lacking. Christmas Day I spent on the beach. I also had the opportunity to travel to the southern side of the island. I traveled down along the coast, near where the Bay of Pigs is. Small rural communities exist throughout Cuba, and their main industries are agriculture and tourism. I saw many houses in the rural villages equipped with solar panels. Tobacco for Cuban cigars is, of course, a major part of their local industry. And although Cuba is a small island, it is not lacking in geographical diversity.